Have you ever been woken up in the middle of the night by a beeping smoke alarm? Like, so annoying. Okay, so that was a problem for us, but I think we've got this solved.
We do.
Hey Provident Preppers, I'm Kylene.
And I'm Jonathan. Today we are talking smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. And if you know anything about us, you know that safety is high on our list of important things. And these alarms are so important to your safety, and especially in a crisis.
Now, I have to tell you what happened to our family. So about a year ago, we were all sleeping peacefully, and
3 a.m.
And our smoke and fire alarms start going off. Everyone in the house. We wake up, we're totally freaking out. The kids are up, and we are looking everywhere, and there is nothing.
That's right. We were
nothing.
Supposedly, you can figure out which one set it off because we didn't even know where to start looking. So I started looking at all the alarms because supposedly one will blink differently than the others, and you'll know which one set it off so that you know where to look. They were all the same. They were all just the same, making the same obnoxious noises, and I was done. I knew at that point this relationship had to change.
Either that or our relationship had to change. And actually, it happened not as long. The first time it was like 15 minutes or, it was a long time. And then it happened a couple other times, and I'm like, Jonathan! But he had to go shopping. He had to find out the best of the best of the best to fix the problem. And then it happened again, and it was just like, no, we have to do this. But one of the things that I think it's important to realize is that there are those people who really don't pay attention to their smoke and carbon monoxide detectors, but we do. And John faithfully, every 6 months, he goes up there with a vacuum and vacuums it all out and changes the battery on everyone in our house. So they had been really well maintained. It didn't make sense why this was going on, but yeah, I was done.
But things had to change, and the old ones had to go in the trash. We were parting company. And so I started looking around out there. I came across Xsense, and I hadn't heard of Xsense before, but I was pretty impressed with what I saw. These are interconnected by radio frequency as opposed to wire. Now, when we built our house, we had to interconnect all the alarms with wire, and that's, I did the wiring, so I ran all these to every place we needed a smoke or a carbon monoxide alarm or a combination alarm. And so these are connected by radio frequency, and why that's important is a lot of you probably have homes that were wired before that was a requirement. So interconnecting is not a real easy thing. If you're doing it after the fact, you're crawling through attics and cutting through wallboard and all kinds of things to try and interconnect them. What a mess. But these solve that problem. These can be interconnected by radio frequency up to 820 feet. So this just solved a huge problem. The other thing that I really like about these is that they have the digital readout. And again, if you know our stuff, you know that we love the digital readout because your normal alarms won't go off until they usually get up to 70 parts per million or more of carbon monoxide. These will start showing at 30, and you'll see that you've got a problem before it's a big problem. So that just totally excited me.
Not only that, but it was the spreadsheet that he created.
That too. But this was the solution I'd been looking for. Now, another really cool thing about this is they have this little remote that gets hung by the thermostat. And if you do have some kind of a nuisance alarm and they're all going off, you can press this once and it will shut off all but the one that started the mess. Okay, so I started doing shopping. I looked and found Xsense, and it has some great features that I really like. First of all, the radio frequency connection. That to me is really important, especially for others whose house isn't already interconnected by wire. A great feature. Next, I like the digital readout. That is so important for carbon monoxide. And if you've seen any of our other stuff, that we strongly encourage you to have these because that's not part of most smoke or carbon monoxide combination alarms. So this will tell you when you've got 30 parts per million of carbon monoxide. They don't usually alarm until about 70, but you know that something's going on, that you've got a problem because you've got that digital readout to tell you.
Okay, now wait. Now you have to explain to me the difference between the big one and the little one.
Okay, so the big one is the combination alarm. This is smoke and carbon monoxide. And again, with the digital readout. This one, this little petite thing like my wife, this is the smoke alarm. So you don't need the combination alarms in every area of your home. You need enough so that you've got good coverage. I have one in the furnace room, I have one in the garage, and we have 4 others in various places in the home so that we have that coverage. The rest of the places just get these little smoke alarms. And we'll talk about the install on those a little bit later because they're different. They're a lot smaller. But that's the difference between these two. Now, when these come, these 6 came together and they were already interconnected. So whatever size box you get of these, there's boxes of 3. I think you can get 1 if you want. You can get boxes of 3, boxes of 6. But these are already interconnected. And these came already interconnected. And of course, they're not interconnected together. So it's real easy just to take care of that, and I'll show you. So this is a new one. This one's going to go out in our metal building because it's within that 820 feet. So we're going to pull out this little tab so that it makes connection and turns on. From there, all we have to do is push one of these 4 times, and that says, oh, I'm looking for a partner.
That was the obnoxious noise that night. Oh.
Yeah, on and on and on.
And on.
Now, this one says, push this one twice, and it says, I too am looking for a partner, and they found each other, a match made in heaven. How about that? It's just that easy. It's just that easy to connect these up. So each of these had to be connected up separately. But you can see that only takes about 5 or 10 seconds a piece to get them all connected up. So now these are all connected, and whether it's out in the metal building, whether it's downstairs or upstairs, if one of these goes off, they all go off, which can be annoying except for the little remote here, which allows you to push the button once and it shuts off everything but the one that started the mess. And then you can push it again and it'll turn that one off. But the important thing is you can go find, okay, which one is having a problem. It's either needs to be cleaned or there's a problem with it, or you've got a problem in your house. And this was just really slick and allows you to take care of that.
I like that.
Very easily.
I like that.
And very quickly. Another great feature that I love about these alarms is their battery life. Now, these combination alarms come with a lithium battery, 10-year battery. So for 10 years, this isn't going to have to be replaced. As Kylene mentioned, usually I go about every 6 months and I check all the batteries, make sure they're good. I replace any that need to be replaced. But these are going to be a 10-year. It's got a little switch on the back here. You turn it on and you've got 10 years of life without any maintenance. Now,
I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
I think that's really cool.
I will still clean these because I think that's important. I usually use either a compressor or a vacuum, and I will shoot the air through or vacuum at my whim. She didn't think I had whims, but anyway. But I think they still need to be cleaned, but you don't have to replace batteries, and that's the really cool part. Now, these little beauties here, they have this little 123 battery in here, and they last for 5 years. So I just ordered a pack, 6 more of these, so I will have 10 years with each of these. In 10 years, this will all get replaced, and who knows what the technology will be then, but I have these in my little battery drawer, and they have a 10-year storage life, so they're going to be just fine. In 5 years when I put them in, they'll probably still have a 10-year life. Or a 5-year life, I should say. But it's so much easier.
It's just so cool.
So much easier.
Yeah, less maintenance, more reliable, and I can turn them off.
Yes. Let's talk just briefly about the install on these, and it's very, very easy. This is the standard electrical box that most of your alarms are going to be in. I suppose some could be in the rectangular, but almost all are going to be in this, which makes it very easy. Pull down the old bracket. Here's the new bracket for these, which just fits in the ceiling. 3 screws, and then that will sit on there. It will just snap into place. So, very simple to replace. As for these, this was a little bit of a different issue because they are so small and petite.
Yes.
And so, again, I was going to just leave them, the old ones, up in place. This was not a very smart thought on my part, and put these beside it.
Not a chance.
That didn't fly at all. So I found an even better solution, which always happens. I always find something better.
When he's forced into it by his wife, that will not happen in my house.
So this is the little bracket that they sit in, and so I found these plates. I just ordered these online. Tried to look in the hardware store, didn't find what I was looking for, but as you can see, this is how they all got put in. Is I drilled holes to match the bracket into this plate, got some little tiny bolts, and put that together like this, and then this just goes, and so everywhere that we've got the old smoke alarms, they come down that plate in, and very, very simple, and very clean. It looks nice.
Looks nice, looks clean. That was really important to me.
And so I got out of the doghouse by finding that solution. But
actually, this whole system got him out of the doghouse.
Yeah. And so very easy, very quick to install, and a super good system. So let's wrap this up real quick. The most important thing is that you have these smoke and carbon monoxide alarms, that you have them, that you clean them, that you make sure they're working. Because in a crisis situation, we really can't afford to have somebody get hurt or worse. You may not have medical care, you may not have the ability to fix the problem once it gets out of hand.
Wait, how much does this system cost?
Oh, that's a great question. This set of 6 here, the combinations, was just under $200, $195, and this set of 6 is $100. So it's actually
fairly comparable to what you'd pick up at a hardware store.
Yeah, when you look out there at the other products, it's right in line, actually cheaper than some of them. So it's a reasonably priced product. And
can we leave them a link?
Yeah. We'll put a link in the description, actually for these and these plates in case you want to do what we did and set it up that way.
Yeah, you don't want to leave the old ugly ones up there.
Yep. And this little remote, I think, is $19. So, very reasonable to have a system that's going to serve you well for 10 years. But the most important thing is that you do something. If you need to get something done, do it. Regardless of which product you use, safety has to be one of our highest priorities. It has to be our highest priority. And so I challenge you to go out and get this done. And now for the question of the day. What's the question of the day, Mama?
What's the most annoying thing that has happened with you and your smoke alarms? Comment below. And thanks for being part of the solution.